as far as Travis and the Heisman guys, I think he's going to silently win it because I don't think Penix is going to go undefeated. Dylan Gabriel looked like he's going to go down today. The kid at Michigan is having all those. No wonder he looks so good. They cheat. Hell, they look at defense. If Travis can go, if he can go undefeated, okay, and win the ACC championship game, he's a good kid. No off-field problems. One of the things I think he's going to have in his favor, he's brought FSU back to prominence, and he's put in the work. So, hey, don't count him out of winning the Heisman just yet. Now, if he drops the game, maybe. But I'm telling you, Penix is going to drop a game. Gabriel going down today. Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't know. The only guy I'm really looking at ahead of Travis right now is Penix and the kid up at Michigan. But if he wins out, okay, and wins the ACC championship game, he should win the Heisman Trophy, period. Because Penix is going to lose. They're going to lose a game. And like I said, there's too much cloud noise over up there in Michigan. I'm going to hang up and listen to the show. Remember, 30-year vet, Warchant. Love you guys.
It was so good to hear Robert Griffin point this out. But Jordan Travis, the only thing that irks me is that Jordan Travis is not getting talked about enough as a Heisman Trophy candidate. I mean, and I was looking up the Heisman contenders, and all these guys had awful games at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Awful games.
Yep.
Like, Travis is the only one that his bad game was like 2 touchdowns and an interception or something like that. I don't understand why, like, a guy that's thrown for like 18 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, almost 2,000 yards, is not getting talked about as a front runner with an undefeated top 4 team. I maybe somebody else can answer that question for me, but it just boggles my mind. Love you, ESPN. Thank you. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Josh,
thanks, Josh.
He's not wrong, Gene. Michael Penix, who's considered the front runner.
That last game was awful.
They did not score an offensive touchdown against Arizona State. So
Arizona State.
Yeah, I think if it's me, I think it's Marvin Harrison Jr. is on the short list, and then still to be determined on what quarterbacks you would invite. But Jordan, I think the momentum's about to build for Jordan, Gene. This is a humongous day. Sometimes the stat book is not indicative of the impact that Jordan has on the game. Today it was. I mean, you're talking about it with sack-adjusted yardage. You're talking about 400 all-purpose yards and 4 touchdowns. Like, that's the kind of game that gets people's attention. I don't think this is a race that's over by any stretch. I think Jordan still has a really good chance, Gene, to obviously make it to New York, at least for an invite. But he should be talked about more because there have been clunkers for the other candidates across the board. So, good call, Josh.
Well, isn't this – yeah, Josh nailed it on that. But isn't this more of an exposure type thing? Like, what's going to move the needle for what really matters to Heisman, and that's publicity, and that's ESPN, that's clips, that's TikTok clicks or something like that. You're going to get the exposure. I think the fact that outside of LSU, which was a long time ago in people's minds, FSU hasn't really played anybody. I mean, you look down, you say, well, they played Clemson at Clemson, but for whatever reason at the time, Clemson was not ranked. It was ridiculous, but they were not ranked. And then you look the name, they played a ranked Duke team last week, but again, it's Duke. It wasn't basketball. No one in the national media is going to take that seriously. He just, like I said, pretty much 400 yards against Wake Forest. So the problem is he's doing that, and I just don't think he's going to get the publicity. Now, what could change is if, again, Miami keeps winning, and I think they're losing last I looked, which is just
7-0. 7-0. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Miami's still losing. Maybe that game is a little bigger, and maybe he blows up in that game. It gets him on there, but I just don't think he's getting the national push right now by the media, by social media, everywhere else, and I think that's affecting him. At the end of the day, these other guys are on bigger stages right now, whether it's a perceived bigger stage or not. That's part of the problem of being in the ACC, especially when Clemson is down. This kind of reminds me back in the 90s almost, where it was FSU and everybody else. There just isn't anybody else standing out, so they're not getting that. Obviously, Florida's not what they used to be. Now we'll see. Maybe they'll go on a run. They'll do something else. But they need him to have a big national game where he blows up and maybe he gets up talked about, a legitimate candidate to win. I think he gets the invite, Tom, I guess right now everything's hold. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's a legitimate candidate to win it, and he should be. I think that was the point there from Josh.
I agree. He should be a candidate at this point because he has not had a clunker. It's a great argument. It's a simple one. And we'll see if it's one that takes shape. You still got a month to go. in terms of creating your resume. Sometimes people are slow on the uptake.
You guys don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to warchant.com, the best in the business. It's only $1 for a month. You're crazy. Gene should be have his temperature checked for giving that kind of deal away. And y'all get you some DeLuna coffee. It's fantastic. Support everything. Hit the thumbs up. Y'all be good and go Noles.
There we go. Wes.
Thank you, Wes.
As always, Mr. Promo himself.